Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, March 21st, and we've got quite an active week coming up. Pretty decent weather next couple of days with temperatures in the 40s today and well into the 50s tomorrow. And you can see temperatures this morning in the low 30s across much of the area. A little cooler over in the thumb with temperatures in the mid 20s there. If you look at the Great Lakes, you can see temperatures mainly in the 30s across much of the lower part of the lower peninsula with 20s off to the north, even some teens as you get up into the western portions of the UP. But overall, not a bad morning out there. And again, the next couple of days don't look too bad, but boy, we got some major changes as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, and some of those changes begin Tuesday night, especially across mid-Michigan. If we look at the normals for today, a normal high is 43, the normal low of 24, and you can see, but again, back in 2012, a high of 87.2, just an incredible stretch of warm weather we had back then. And again, we may have an incredible weather event coming up here later this week. If we take a look at the next map, you can see winter storm watch is in effect right now for the Grand Rapids County watch area, with the exception of the I-94 corridor right now. But again, I think you're going to see a lot more in the way of winter storm watches being issued from eastern Michigan all the way back into Iowa, as we have an area that could see some incredible snowfall amounts over the next couple of 3 days or so as we get into especially Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll take a look at it in just a minute. If we take a look at the weather map for this morning, you can see a weak cold front that'll be dropping down into the area. It'll stall out and then move back to the north a little bit as a warm surge of air comes in for tomorrow. And again, that'll put temperatures well into the 50s. And we can see on the weather map by tomorrow, that front will eventually become stationary once it comes back up into mid-Michigan. I think temperatures could even get into the low 60s across the far southern part of the state. Again, precipitation begins to break out tomorrow afternoon, mainly in the form of rain across the MAC area and mixture and snow off to the north, as we have an area of low pressure systems beginning to form. It's going to drop down into Kansas, and we can see that on Wednesday morning's map as our storm center gets developing across Kansas. It's going to move up this front that's going to be pushing south thanks to an Arctic high pressure system that's going to really try to push that cold air into the state. And with a lot of Gulf moisture coming up over this front, we have a chance for some significant precipitation across all the areas. Depending on where you're at, it could be mainly in the form of rain, or it could be in the form of very heavy snow. And I'm talking extremely heavy amounts of snow possible where that heavy band does set up. If we look at the forecast map for Thursday, you can see the low comes into west central Illinois. It moves along this front there, which will be draped across northern Indiana and Ohio. And again, I think it's a very good shot of significant snow from around Lansing off to the north, with the best chances, I think, across the Mount Pleasant, Alma area off to the north. Again, there's going to be a band in here someplace that's going to pick up, I think, over 1.5 feet of snow. But again, a lot can change between now and then, and we'll keep an eye on the forecast models here over the next several days. If we look at the snowfall amounts from the Canadian, we're not going to show the GFS. The GFS model has had all kinds of problems trying to run its different model runs over the last couple of days. Lots of errors, lots of information not being input. Hopefully the 12Z will be straightened out, but right now it's pretty much worthless. As far as snowfall from the Canadian, you can see it's putting down about 14 inches of snow from around the Alma area to Saginaw or towards Marlette, and up to 20 inches in Mount Pleasant, 22 inches, 23 inches around Big Rapids. And again, this whole area between 20 to 25 inches, even 30 inches of snow at Milwaukee. So this is just an incredible amount of snow if it happens. Now, I can't show you the European, but what I did is overlay the areas where the European is expecting the amounts of snowfall to occur. And you can see in this center portion of the area from all the way from, actually goes back to Iowa, all the way in through mid-Michigan over and towards the thumb would be between 18 and 24 inches on the European, with between 12 to 18 inches from around the Lansing area, St. John's, and then up towards the area from around Clare to Harrison, and then the 6-inch line in the outer band. But again, this is a little bit narrower than what it has had. It did have quite a bit wider area of between 1 to 2 feet of snow, but still very significant. And it has been rock steady as far as this area of heaviest snow right across the center part of the lower peninsula. If we look at the precipitation amounts, you can see the problems we got, and you'll see that on later model runs. But you can see right here across southern lower Michigan, it depicts over the next 96 hours only about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. liquid equivalent. And if you see some of the other models, the European model shows again very heavy rain across much of the area, including this area, which the GFS only has about a quarter of an inch of rain or so. The European has between an inch and a half. It has between 2 and 2.5 inches across much of mid-Michigan, with the 1 inch line again quite a bit further south than the GFS. And as far as the Canadian model, you can see again much the same. This area here, which the GFS has very little rainfall, between 1 to 2 and even 2.5 inches across the whole swath of the mid-Michigan area. So again, a lot of precipitation, and again, you can see why we're looking at some incredible snowfall amounts in the areas if it does fall in the form of snow, with over 3 inches around the Milwaukee area and 2.5 to 3 inches up towards Big Rapids, Cadillac area. If we look at the WPC's 5-day rainfall, you can see they're in agreement with some pretty heavy rainfall across southern and south central lower Michigan. And as far as the WPC, again, it also indicates quite a bit of rainfall across southern lower Michigan. So most of the models definitely are pumping out a lot of precipitation. And as you get into mid-Michigan, a lot of that looks like it could be in the form of snow. So this could be a historic winter storm if this does occur, and something we're going to want to watch over the next couple of days. And here's our forecast for today. We have a winter storm watch for Wednesday afternoon into Thursday evening from around Lansing off to the north. Today, partly to mostly sunny, highs in the mid-40s across the southern part of the state, low 40s across mid-Michigan with light winds of 5 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, increasing clouds, lows in the low to mid-30s across most of the area with light winds. And then for the day on Tuesday, it'll become breezy in the afternoon with a chance of afternoon showers. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s as you get into southern lower Michigan, and in the mid to upper 50s across mid-Michigan. It'll again become quite windy with winds 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts over 30. And then Tuesday night, I think we'll see that rain begin to mix and change to snow across the northern portions of the MAC area and begin to spread south as we go through the day on Wednesday, with some accumulation by Wednesday afternoon, and then a chance of snow, possibly heavy at times, Wednesday night into Thursday across south central and central lower Michigan. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day, a great work week, and 73s to all.